Well, last week the federal government announced the end of daily letter deliveries in response to a review into how we can modernise our postal service. It comes after Australia Post posted a $200 million loss last financial year, the first since 2015. While the modernisation plan will also allow more self-service options like parcel lockers, there are concerns it doesn't go far enough to provide access to the regions. Joining me live now is Team Global Express CEO Christine Holgate. Christine, thanks so much for your time and your patience. We've had a few technical issues there in Melbourne this morning, so let's get to it. What needs to happen at Australia Post? What are you most concerned about?
Thank you, Laura. I think, look, many of us, whether it's, in regional Australia or in the industry, are slightly disappointed. There was over 1,000 responses to that review, and what we've just seen is cuts. I'm not saying they're not important. What we haven't seen is anything to do to grow services in rural and regional Australia. And many of those community post offices are really concerned this is going to take them backwards. We've been asking to work with the government, with Australia Post, as many other players have, to really look at economic reform to allow anybody to go and work with these community post offices and bring them more work and help protect their viability. And we haven't had any success so far, Laura, so I hope you can help me. But they are the backbone of those regional towns. And just cutting services is going to do nothing to protect them and the many small businesses they support.
How does this work? If you were still CEO of Australia Post, I feel like there might have been a different plan here. But how should it work? Are you talking about a more casualised workforce and essentially more flexibility?
No, I'm not talking about that. Let's just start with a really simple thing. I think when I was at Australia Post, I became famous for Bank at Post, which was really looking at that you had this incredible regional infrastructure and it was losing money. So and those post offices were, I think many people don't understand, forgive me, Laura, that those post offices are owned by mums and dads. They take the debt on to buy those facilities. If something goes wrong, they carry that debt. It's not Australia Post. So what we could see is they were under threat. They were making a big loss, and there was a real need to improve banking access in regional Australia. So the Bank at Posting basically recognised that and enabled other companies to work with that infrastructure to create a vital revenue line. Yeah. What we're asking for is for everybody in the parcel industry to be able to work with those post offices. Now, not all post offices might want to, by the way, just like all post offices don't do a passport. But if you did it, what it would do is enable it to really improve services to regional Australia, lower the cost of deliveries in regional Australia, allow more small businesses in regional Australia to be able to build e-commerce into metro areas where there's a real disconnect in service levels today. Right. So I think it's pretty important for those post offices. It's really important for regional Australia. And it's really important to actually have competition. People in regional Australia pay 3-4 times the price to send a parcel than what you do in a metro area.
Yeah, so we need a big rethink here, and I think we could all see where this was headed, Christine. So for government and the industry, what's the first step as we go into the new year to fulfil this, what you put forward here today?
Well, it actually doesn't require very much from the government or from Australia Post. All that industry is asking for and the licensees are asking for is for the ability to, other people to work with that network and bring services in. Now, we've asked many, many times. There's a long record. Many people in the industry have asked, and we've always been told it's not commercially viable. But we've never had a proposal. And what you're seeing is the blocking of that. And it is disappointing that, after so much effort went in to support the government on the review, there has been nothing back to build those services. Laura, this is Christmas. We're incredibly busy. I know you guys are too. But penetration of e-commerce in Australia trails developing countries. And it's as low as 5% in regional Australia. Now, why is it so low when those people more than ever need access to shops and services? And that's because the pricing has gone up so much and at the same time, they slowed down the speed of deliveries. Well, the announcements last week done nothing to help protect that. Prices are going to go up more, and deliveries are going to slow down. So I think, you know, and it's not just me, talk to retailers.
Yeah.
You know, Laura, there's a great guy called Graham O'Brien. He's the managing director of the Licensed Post Office Group. And he worked at Australia Post for 50 years, and he kept me in check when I was in the job. So I think you should get him on the show, and he can tell you a lot more. But we've got to do more to help those regional towns.
Everyone in the regions, and they watch us here on AM Agenda every day, will be nodding along with that. Christine, give me that gentleman's name again.
Graham O'Brien.
And he worked for 50 years.
He's a great guy. He's based in Brisbane. 50 years at Australia Post, but he's now the managing director of the Licensed Post Office Group. And that's the consortium of a lot of these community mum and dad post offices.
Right. Well, Graham, we are coming your way, and he must be a good bloke because he's a Queenslander. Christine, we really appreciate your time this morning and your patience too. Appreciate it.